Welcome back to the podcast, greatest podcast in the world. And today, Saudi has bought Faker, Danny. Saudi bought Faker. He now is owned by Saudi. That's it.
I don't
It's
like
official.
how that sounds.
I'm kidding, guys, but no, it's
Saudi
it's in recent
sponsors
news.
Faker.
Saudi sponsors Faker now instead. But if you guys haven't seen the recent news, an a company that is owned by Saudi
The
is
Saudi
their
government
official,
to be.
yeah.
They are owned by the Saudi government. Okay.
The Red Sea Global is also Saudi, is also is now an investor into T1, which is the organization that Faker is part of, that he has been part of. And this has sparked a lot of interesting conversations now that, oh, T1 is a sellout, Faker's using it for money, all that stuff, which, again, you have your own chance. You can hate on the Saudi government or you can do whatever you want to hate about them, but again, this is also the org's decision to do this, so you can't just only blame the
they're
Saudi org.
using Faker's just doing it for money? He's got like more money than God, obviously.
Yeah,
like that
he
guy
is literally the
he owns
richest.
a fucking building in Korea.
I think it's literally named after him, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
it's like Faker
It's like-
Tower or something like
yeah, that is. So like,
I don't know.
like,
I don't think it's just for. Of course, like money's always a factor in things, but like, I don't think it's just
Yeah.
for money.
again, also I want to preference this. They don't own T1. They didn't do that. It's just a sponsorship. They're basically
it's like a
sponsoring like how
partnership.
Logitech and all. It is a partnership. They don't own T1. I needed people to understand that. They did not buy T1. They don't own any T1. They're just using it for sponsorship. And I kind of want to go over this because I feel like a lot of people don't understand how Saudi has a lot of money. Yes, oil has a big part in it. Yes, guys, oil does have a big. As an Arab, I can make that joke. Oil does have a part in it. But if what I look deeper into it, and I want to do my own research, and people who I know that work in the Middle East that I talk to, and I basically I asked them to kind of like dumb it down for me in a way so I can explain it to you guys. Basically, Saudi wants to be the center of entertainment in a way. They want to boost their entertainment. If any Arab knows, if this was like 10 years ago, nothing goes on entertainment-wise, minus like soccer in the Middle East. People don't know what esport is. There's not much concerts going on over there. There was never an esport World Cup. There's none of that shit in the Middle East, okay? Saudi was not this good in entertainment back like 10 years ago. All right, I've lived there too, and I've seen it myself. They were not this good, okay? But again, the only reason they want to do this is because they want to get ahead in the entertainment industry. They don't care how much money they got to burn because they know they're gonna get people come in.
They got more money than God over there, I guess.
Oh yeah. So if people don't know, they are being funded by the Public Investment Fund, basically a investment firm run by the Saudi government. Okay. They started this in 1971. They've been building out the fund. This thing, by the way, this is not like millions. This is not a couple billions. This is a lot of billion. This is almost $900 billion of
So
net.
they almost got $1 trillion to play around.
They almost got $1 trillion to burn in just entertainment. UFC, concerts, NBA game. The NBA, I mean, it's Dubai, yes, but the NBA, they have an NBA Cup, if any NBA fans know, sponsored by the Emirates. So
That's cool.
that's also another thing. Some teams have Emirates on it on the jersey also. People need to understand, like, yeah, there's Saudi is getting involved a lot. And now it's all the conversation is, I mean, I've had conversations with people and I was asking them, okay, for example, if the Chinese government, if the American government, if like the Japanese government, if they started publicly doing the same thing, would they get the same hate that Saudi is getting? And I wasn't more like, I was curious. I just wanted to know. Everyone said, for the most part, yes. And a lot of people saying, oh, you know, this government is not as bad as this government. And it got a lot of political and all.
Why do you think the like Saudi government gets a lot of hate? Like because of like I mean you see on Twitter that people seem to be actively against this, but like why do you think that is? Middle Easterner. I know you're not Saudi, but like you know you know more about it than like probably someone from Twitter does. Like
I think what people are getting the misconstrued is that the safety for people who are part of the LGBTQ community. Again, we're not bashing them. I am supporting. I have friends who are part of the LGBT. I have friends who are gay, lesbian, and trans. I support them. Again, we're not against them. But I think people have this mindset that, oh, if you go to the Middle East, you'll die. But like, we're gonna censor that. But all that stuff is something bad's gonna happen to you if you're in the Middle East and all that. I think people are getting their news from the Western media or have never visited the country. I do think that, again, not every government is good. As an Arab man that's lived in that country also. I lived in Jordan. I lived in Saudi. But I do think there's like there's like minute things where people are just like spreading misinformation, and I feel like they're just using one word or one phrase that was probably taken out of context. And then blowing it out of the park.
It seems like if you go on Twitter, most people that see this stuff that are like upset about it, for some reason have it in their head that Saudi Arabia is like a third world country that's like run by hooligans, I guess. And that like are like, I don't know. And I guess, in American media and stuff, and due to the like America's past with countries in the Middle East. It's not even Saudi Arabia though. It's more like Afghanistan and stuff that has more of the history. So like, but I think that they all just kind of get like lumped together, and then people are just like, they hate anything that isn't them over there. Where I don't think you're gonna get killed if you're a trans person and you go to Saudi Arabia. Like that's not gonna happen.
My biggest thing is look at the Qatar World Cup. When Qatar had it in the World Cup, there were gay people, there were trans people that went there, and nothing happened to them. It was the first World Cup to not have any fights or anybody die in it, by the way. I need people to understand that. Qatar was the first.
People die at every single one?
Yeah, I just need to know, it was considered one of the safest World Cups ever, and that was in Qatar. And that's the same country that people are saying, oh, there's slavery going on, you'll die if you have this and all that. Here's my point, again. This is from my perspective on what I think people need to do. I'm first of all, I'm happy that people even said, oh, if it was the American government, we would hate them just as much, which is great. Again, I understand what they're coming from, and I'm happy that it's not just racism. People are actually using their brain, and people are actually talking about it, and being smart about it. I really do appreciate the people I've talked to. They're not like closed-minded. They understand what's going on in the government. But I think people need to understand that a lot of orgs, they kind of rely on Esports World Cup, if you don't notice it. My also biggest thing is they'll hate on Esports World Cup, but they'll still support the org that is participating in it. My thing is, you can't hate an Esports World Cup, but then not hate the org that's participating in it and the players and the co-streamers that are doing it.
It's like, if the orgs felt the same way that you on Twitter feel about it, they wouldn't be going, but...
Yeah,
obviously
and also
the
co-streamers, and then the co-streamers, the content creators, and all of them. Are you gonna support them now also, or are you not gonna support them anymore? That's my thing. That's my biggest gripe with it. Yeah, that's my biggest gripe when it comes to this whole situation. The amount of content creators that I know that have went there, and the orgs that I know have went there that also support the LGBTQ community, they participated in EWC. Now, my question is for the audience and for everybody that's listening. Now, are you going to support that org? Are you still going to support the players? Are you still going to support the coaching staff, the content creators, the org that's participated in it? See, that's what pisses me off out of this whole thing. I don't care. Everyone can have their opinion on political comment. They can have their opinion. It is what it is. Okay, that's fine. But my thing is, like, if you're gonna hate the Esports World Cup, you're gonna have to hate the org too. You can't pick and choose. You can't half hate this but not hate that. It's either you are fully against it or fully for it. That's my thing for it, and that's the only thing I really hate about this whole situation. And I've seen a lot of people talk about it, and that's the biggest gripe when it comes to this whole situation. I still think that people have good intentions when they're talking about it. They're not racist. I don't think people are genuinely like racist when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Tons of misinformation.
Lack of information. I think it's a lot of lack of information and people that have never visited the country. Again, not everyone has a privilege to just go to another country and visit it. I understand that, which I completely understand. Not everyone can, let me just go to another country. I want to visit it for a few weeks. Not everyone has that privilege, which I understand. But I would like when you're saying stuff about information that you've never went to, and you talk about people how they treated, or how are women treated over there, you've never been there. You've never lived there. You've never visited the people there. You never talked to people there. You don't even have friends who are Arab. And you're coming at me and telling me, or you're going at people and just saying, oh, women are treated differently over there. Women are treated terribly over there. Which, to be honest with you, is completely false. They're treated the same way they are here.
Mm.
There's no repercussions. I don't. That's what pisses me off the most. Oh, you're forced to wear a hijab there. No, there isn't. In my country, literally in Jordan, it is 90% Muslims. And I've seen so many women that don't wear hijabs.
Yeah, it's a
and nobody
religious
cares.
choice if you want to do it or not. Like
nobody's forcing you to be Muslim. Nobody forces you to be like a religion over there. It's your choice. Just accommodate by their rules. Again, you can have your opinion on the government. That's fine. That is your opinion on it. But to bring the people and to bring the gender of the people that live there and say, oh no, they're experiencing this, when you have never lived there, you've never even stepped foot into the soil over there, is what the biggest is my biggest hatred for it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really the only thing I talk about it, and that's the only really thing that I would say that bothers me about this whole situation. If you're gonna hate the organization of Esports World Cup, I expect you to hate the players, and I expect you to not support the team that participated in it. That's all I'm gonna say, and that's my 2 cents in the whole situation.
Well, the other thing that I want to add is like, you would think that a government putting money like into it is like a good thing, like especially for like Saudi Arabia. It seems like they're trying to make themselves more of a center for stuff to like bring the reputation of the Middle East up, like so that people don't think of like what they see in American news. They think, oh, that's the cool place where they have this and this and this, you know, like. And I don't know. I think I think it's like nothing but a big W for not only Saudi Arabia but like the Middle East as a whole. Like, it's good to have some like really good media about them.
Yeah.
And the fact that people are like complaining about it and stuff like that, it's like, I don't know. And if a country's government is literally putting money into things, regardless of what it is, that means there's more money to go around in the scene. So more people playing the games can make money, more opportunities for sponsorship, more opportunities for growth, stuff like that. Like well, what do you want? Like, obviously, like Riot, if you want to be like, oh, like the government shouldn't be running this or whatever, but you see how Riot has hosted like how no one seems to really like franchising in Valorant and like stuff like that, and it's like, oh well, they're running it and people don't like it that much, so like, what if they're doing this other format and it's being successful? Like, why are you complaining about it? It's just, no, I mean, I know Valorant isn't the only game at EWC, but like, why would you complain about more good Valorant or more good fighting games or whatever?
Yeah. I think also like for example, like when we like, I don't know if any of everybody here is a FGC a fan, but when they announced the Fatal Fury prize pool, which was like 1.5 million and Saudis investing in it, like, okay, that's like insane because that's unheard of for an FGC tournament. Even something like Evo or Combo Breaker, they never had anything that big before. Mm-hmm. So something like that is already like, okay, well, that's a big red flag because it inflates everything, and other tournaments are gonna seem like, oh, they're not doesn't mean anything. I get that, right? It's just insane. But I also want to point out, I feel like if you're gonna hate that, I do also think that people should hate the U.S. Army because they have their own esports club. If you didn't know that, they have an esports club where they field Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, Fortnite, League of Legends, and Overwatch. They have their own thing also. So most of the people that I've spoken to said if the U.S. government did the same thing that Saudi is doing, they would do just as much hating. Which, words speak lower than actions.
Oh no, I feel like if it's in someone's country, they're not gonna like.
Yeah, I think
upset.
It's also 100%. I think we can't know for sure unless this U.S. government actually does something, which that's a whole other story, or that's a whole other topic we can talk about. But again, I think people need to be careful on what they say. It's not my thing. It's not like don't watch what you say kind of thing. It's not like a threat. I mean that you could be saying things that you're not 100% sure on, and you are just getting half-ass information from somewhere and you're spreading misinformation.
And then you
It's
come
not only
across like you're either insensitive, stereotypical, like I don't know.
exactly.
You just make yourself kind of look like an idiot.
I do think so. I think it's just like just be careful. That's all I care about. Again, I really do understand. Everyone has their own freedom of speech. You can say whatever the fuck you want. That's the beauty of it. You can say whatever the fuck you want. It's fine. I just think that people need to be more like. I just hope it doesn't become like a racist thing anymore. Like it develops to something or it explodes to something that involves like racism, and they say something like just completely out of pocket, which has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Mhm.
And that's my biggest thing when it comes to it. And that's really what it is. I think the Esport World Cup could be handled better. I have no real say in it. I just think that people need to be careful on what they say. That's my whole biggest thing when it comes to the Esport World Cup. Do I think there's a lot too much money being involved? Yeah, because now it inflates other tournaments.
Yeah, but it's a good opportunity for all the players.
It's also that,
like,
yeah.
I don't know, if you're playing fucking Tekken or Street Fighter or Fatal Fury and you come home with $1 million, like that's fucking fire. Like, good for you.
Yeah, that is fucking fire. Also, like even like other games like fucking I don't know, Valorant, Counter-Strike, I know Call of Duty's here this year is in it, which is like stuff like that. Again, I just care about people. Just don't say things when you're don't say things that you're not 100% sure of. That's all I ask. I ask people to do their research, or if not, visit the country if you can. Go visit the country, because the people are the Middle Eastern people are one of the nicest people you'll ever meet in your life. Genuinely, they're great people, and I think people need to understand that. We also got the best food, but that's a hot take. We'll ask for another later. Oh, but yes, that's it for the news. I think Esports World Cup is going on right now, so it's going crazy. I know Twitter is going going both sides on it, which is funny. But yeah, that's it for the news today. I want people to just educate it on. I just want to clarify about Esports World Cup and our stance on it. And yeah, we have some core news. We don't have much news, but we are playing in playoffs for contenders for Rainbow Six. We are playing in there. We're made top 8 in playoffs, so that's good. And we go for next week. We also go against Shopify Black, which is the male team, and we go against them for next week's match Valorant. So, yeah, the game that's Valorant and made by Riot Games themselves.
1-1?
We're 1-1 right now. We're not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, we're okay. Not great. Not amazing. We'll take it 2-1. Hopefully, our R6 boys do great next week. So next week we should have a great big year when it comes to Esport World Cup. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to go to QORgaming.com/shop and check it out.
Bye.
And bye-bye.
Bye-bye.